who comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Ugh. We're getting there. He's high. Doesn't take long to share anymore because I left groups. No, don't put your butt on my head. Fuck off. What's this? Go get it. You didn't buy that one? Huh? You didn't? You're like, I'm not so easily fooled, do you, Daddy? All right. Yeah, I know. You prefer the other side. Do not put your butt on my head. I don't know why cats insist on that. I know. I love you too. Yes, I do. People say I don't have patience, but I have 4 cats. Okay. What is it with the lap lately and all the cats? They've been very lovey the last couple of days. Like, I think it's cold and they're like, we love you because it's warm in here. Huh? Is that it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. Yeah. What is it with my nose? Yeah. All right. We're going to be in Dr. Bab in the Old Timers. I had to download the PDF for it. So, but I must have done it before because it came up in my search history. Yes, you did, didn't it? All right. That just means I haven't cleared my search history out for at least a year. Is what it means. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. I'll be your host with the most today, or at least your host is doing the talking. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. The rewatch. Did I mention that there's a rewatch if you would like it? Because there is. Here we go. I think you guys will like this one. I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and you guys can read this with me. So I need to switch this over to chat. This is funny. Where you see one set of footprints is where I carried you. That long groove is where I dragged you, kicking and screaming. Footprints in the sand. Yeah, that's what that is. That's pretty funny. And it's funny because it describes us, or at least it describes me at one point, right? So, all right, let's get started. If you would like, you're probably not going to want to. So, now this is actually called His Spiritual Quest, and it is about Dr. Bob, which is cool because I like to find out more about Dr. Bob here. So, let's get started. If you have the book and you're following along, I'm on page 306. His Spiritual Quest. Dr. Bob was a man in search of God. And it was in this area that he, like Bill Wilson, was probably among the least conservative of men. This is not remarkable when we consider that New England, politically and maritally conservative as it was, still fostered many of the new thought philosophies and mind cure religions mentioned by William James in the Varieties of Religious Experiences. The book, though not popular among Akron AAs, was favored by Dr. Bob's. Dr. Bob's group, I'm presuming. Ah, that coffee needs to be warmed up. Yeah. It is possible to theorize that Dr. Bob's search began earlier, but according to his own account, it started when he first contacted the Oxford group in early 1933. Ah, so Dr. Bob tried to get sober before through the Oxford group. And it looks like he was looking into religion and other different ways to try and get sober and find God. This was a man of medicine, right? Looking for God. What a neat thing. Paul S., the Akron pioneer whose brother Dick also joined the program, said of Dr. Bob, at this time he began his conscious search for the truth through a concentrated study of the Bible over 2.5 years before his meeting with Bill. He felt that God had not heard his prayers for this entire time, said Paul, and he could not blame him. He felt that he was undeserving of any consideration. I get that. When I was coming back into the program, I didn't think God was going to give me any consideration. I thought, I'm like, I had my shot. He has tried so many times to help me, and I just continue not following through. I continue doing these things. And this is just the opposite of pride and ego. It's a form of denial that we apply to ourselves so that we don't get what it is that we need and can continue our behavior, right? It's still justifying things. Now, were my feelings, I mean, they were valid, sure, but they weren't correct. All right. In that case, my feelings were incorrect and man made. The revelation of Dr. Bob's life came when he made his second discovery that spirituality couldn't be absorbed by someone emulating a sponge, but one might but that one might find it in the healing and helping to free those afflicted and in the bondage. So it looked like he had discovered. Morning, Amber. It's good to see you. I hope mutton busting was good. We had a good meeting last night. We had a good meeting. We had 14 people at one time, and most of them came from DACA. And then Tyler, I'm so proud of him. I've been waiting for somebody to do this. He called a group conscious. I'm like, yes, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It's progress. So, but I hope you had fun watching little kids get kicked off muttons. I'm sure you have 20 million pictures of it too. All right. But it's good to see you. I hope you're having a good day, hon. So he it looks like he picked up some of the tenets from the Oxford group. To go back a little bit, if you weren't here yet, Amber, we're talking about Dr. Bob looking for God. And he went to the Oxford group to try and get help in 1933. That would have been 2 years before, or a year and a half, they said, before Bill approached him with but he already kind of had it here. It said it. That is the helping of others, right? Okay. But he tried to help others before he did some of the work. And that's probably what did it. I'm guessing. This, of course, was what Dr. Bob meant when he said that Bill brought him the idea of service. Oh, so maybe not. Okay. I think the kind of service that really counts, Dr. Bob said, is giving yourself, and that almost invariably requires effort and time. Yep, that's what my service is effort and time. Effort and time. You know, when we have an alcoholic who feels like they have just failed at everything, and we come along as a recovered alcoholic and give our effort with no expectation of anything in return because we got what we need already, right? And then that time, it gives people hope because, like, this person thought I was worth sticking around for. That was a big deal to me, that I was fucking worth something. Yeah. And they weren't lying to me. They weren't lying to me. I am worth something. We all are, man. Sometimes it's just hard to find out what it is. Um, it isn't a matter of just putting in a little quiet money in the dish. That's needed, but it isn't giving much for the average individual in the days like these when most people get along fairly well. I don't believe that type of giving would ever keep anyone sober. But giving of your own effort and strength and time is quite a different matter. And I think that is what Bill learned in New York and I didn't learn in Akron until we met. Hmm. Now, I'm not really in a place where I can give a lot of money to AA. So I do a lot of service and time, right? And the time that I put in, okay, that includes the grassroots meeting. I am actually donating $14 a month to AA because my Zoom is used for nothing but AA meetings and meeting other people. It's not used for anything else, you know. So, but I give a lot of my time in instead. Um, so I do have a little bit of money, but it's kind of tied up, right? It's kind of tied up. And the home group I go to, it's not really easy to donate. They don't know how to put it. They're trying. They're trying. We'll put it that way. All right. So good on us. We're making progress, right? Um, but giving of our own effort and strength and time is quite a different matter. And I think that is what Bill learned in New York. And I didn't in an Akron until we met. So there it is. It's the when and how to give, right? Now, by the time Bill had gone out and started doing service work, Ebby had taken him through the steps very, very quickly. I think it was like within a couple of days. Amber might know that better than me. If Ingrid is here, she'd probably be able to answer that for us, right? Um, and that's what Bill did with Bob too, from my understanding. In another way, Doctor's Bob experience differed from Bill. He never had the flash of light. The spiritual experience, one member recalled that he did not make any mention of this kind of awakening. Rather, it was a spiritual growth that Dr. Bob talked about. In AA, he said his spiritual values changed as time went by. And that was most of us, right? A lot of us, where our spiritual experiences were of the educational variety, where they happen slowly over a period of time. Should be a podcast coming out today. Friends got 3 years. I don't know if they want to be anonymous yet, so I'm not going to say the name. All right. But it's going to be pretty. They always turn out good. Good morning, CJ. Good to see you. It's good to see you, CJ. Hi, hi, hi. There we are back to bam, 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 bam. All right. He thought we were seeking. He thought we're all seeking inner peace, said Smitty. But he believed that you had to work at something in order to be good at it. Yeah. The more you 12 step people, the more you help people, the better you will get at it. Absolutely. All right. As Dr. Bob himself said, I don't think we can do anything very well in this world unless we practice it. And I don't believe we do AA too well unless we practice it. We should practice. Sorry. Acquiring the spirit of service. So practice it. Yeah. Practice it until you get better at it. We will never be perfect, but we can do our best, can't we? We can do it as enthusiastically as we can. We should attempt to acquire some faith, which isn't easily done, especially for the person who has always been very materialistic, following the standards of society today. But I think faith can be acquired. It can be acquired slowly. It has to be cultivated. This was not easy for me, and I assume that it is difficult for everyone else. It wasn't that hard for me. Mm-mm. Well, the process to get there, the years of drinking, yeah, I guess it would. So, I want to make a quick announcement, give a little bit of kudos. Happy birthday to Clara Joyce. She has 3 years of sobriety today. Woo! Yes. That is a good fucking job. It is. Now that you're going to approach that fourth, fifth year, things are going to get different, man. They're going to get different for you. So good job. Um, you know, it's an achievement to reach that amount of time. I mean, the fact that we can even stay sober for something like 30 days is a freaking miracle. But to find that we can continue moving forward and gain a better life continually, that I don't know what you would call that. That's more than a miracle to me. That's more than a miracle. It's an all encompassing thread of goodness. I don't know. I'm making shit up. All right. Now we're at the part of the reading for the daily reflection for today. So, we're all after the same thing, and that is happiness. Right? That is happiness. We want peace of mind. The trouble with us alcoholics was this: we demanded that the world give us happiness and peace of mind in just a particular way we wanted to get it, but the alcohol route, and we weren't successful. Yeah, this is why I like the differentiation between these two, because this is emotional sobriety, right? But we read Bill's emotional sobriety, but things are different for people. Some people see emotional sobriety differently than I do, right? It doesn't make it wrong if it's working, as long as we all end up on the solution, which is love, which is being able to love our fellow man for who they are. That's where we gain that peace of mind. That's where happiness. I don't think happiness is the goal. It's an outcome. It's a dividend for something for me. Okay. Um, so, but I like how he's putting it a little differently. Like he's like, yeah, we wanted to do it. We wanted to do it the alcohol route. Dr. Bob was more in your face. In your face. All right. Um, by the alcohol route, and we weren't successful. But when we take time to find out some spiritual laws and familiar ourselves with them and put them into practice, then we do get happiness and peace of mind. Yes. There seems to be some kind of rule that we have to follow, but happiness and peace of mind are always here, open and free to everyone. Now, I like that he says that it's here because happiness and peace of mind can only happen in one place, and that's right now. It cannot happen in any other time. At least I've never been able to. I haven't been able to go back in time or forward. Ugh. God has not given me a time machine yet. And no, if I had a time machine, I would not go back and fix any fucking mistakes I ever made in this life. Nope, I would not do that. I love who I am today. And I want to say that 100%. I really do, but I just can't quite. I would have to say I'm at like 99.99% of that. Yeah, there's still some things in my past that I am I am not proud of at all, you know. But at the same time, I love where I'm at today. And if I didn't go through those things, then I wouldn't have friends in my life like CJ and Amber. All right, let's get to the reading. The simplicity of the AA program teaches me that happiness isn't something I can demand. It comes upon me quietly while I serve others. I'm agreeing with this one. You have a crush on yourself? When I think about me, I touch myself. Right? Just like I used to say, you should see how funny I think I am when I'm drunk. I always said that when I was drunk, though. So I do. I find myself pretty funny. Hey, somebody's got to laugh at my stupid shit, right? And I'm happy to be living in a split level head. It's all good. I used to tell people, they're like, you're crazy. I'm like, I embraced my insanity years ago. I'm fine with it. If you have a problem with it, well, that's your problem. In offering my hand to the newcomer or to someone who has relapsed, I find that my own sobriety has been recharged with indescribable gratitude and happiness. And I really like how they put this because in offering my hand, no, I'm not going to go into the, if you're willing to sponsor, please raise your hand tout that I usually do. Not on this one. Why does this feel incomplete? Why do I feel like I have not finished this, even though I've read everything? I just we're gonna pull out the date. Um, it'll be whatever book I grab. All right. And we're gonna do today's reading. Actually, I want the book that Amber has. There's a date and time. It's Hazelden literature. I'm big on Hazelden literature, and a lot of the Hazelden literature is actually going to be AA approved. Um, so fire, and you get fire. Boo, 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 boo. Well, well, is that nice? Is it? Is it nice not to be hanging up, waking up with a fucking hangover and regret? It is. All right, reflection for today. I've been told over and over again that I must constantly work to give up my old ideas. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Things that make you go, good to see you, dude. All right, to give up my old ideas. That's easy for you to say. We got a lot of habits, bad habits. What are some of the bad habits that we have? Well, the first one's lying. That's the worst. That's the worst habit I had. And yes, see, the thing is we, when it comes to the newcomer, here's the thing. We know they're full of shit. But honesty is the principle behind the first step, right? So they're being as honest as they can, and we must give it to them. I was as honest as I could be, right? As long as, you need one what? I forgot what I said. So all right. So what are some other old behavior? Well, manipulation, thinking I can do this all on my own. There's a lot of old habits, old behavior, right? And it is actually something that I've been using to take down some places out there was I'm like, can you take a look at this? This is what we call old behavior. But in this case, it's not old behavior because They didn't change to a new behavior. So therefore, it's just their behavior. But the behavior of an alcoholic in and of itself is bad. It's unfortunate. An alcoholic in his cups is a dangerous creature and should be put away, including me. And I don't want that anymore. All right. What are the worst 2 words I can hear? 72-hour hold. I'll run. I will run. Oh, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, looking up the definition of honesty. What an honest thing to say. This program can make you feel stupid. And I don't know about you, but when I feel stupid, I get mad. And I had to get over that. I had to get over that. We look up words. We look up basic words here all the time. All the time. It needs to be done. So, all right. I've sometimes thought, well, all my life I have been programmed, computer style, specific inputs brought forth predictable responses. See, a lot of stuff we were taught. Like when I was younger, I get drunk. When I get angry, I would punch holes in walls. Why? Because that is what I was taught. I was told that that is how you express your anger in the house. So that's what I did. Okay. I got out of that stage pretty quick of punching holes in walls. You want to know why? Because I had to patch them. I don't want to. I started punching pillows and stuff. Yeah, your bed was a great place to do it. I knew I had to take my anger out somewhere. So I took it out on it. It's not as satisfying. Just isn't. But pillows are good to punch your bed if you're really fucking angry. Still happens to me maybe once a year. That's why my chair's broke. I was pissed last weekend. I came in, I just fucking punched it. Yeah, it was a reaction. I don't even remember what I was mad about. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to me, man. Sure it does. Okay. Nobody was around. I didn't have to make amends to anyone except my chair. But I'm the one that has to sit in it now every day and wonder whether I'm going to fall to the ground. See, we later places ourselves in a position to be hurt due to reactions. And what is that? It's old behavior. All right. My mind still tends to react to as a computer reacts, but I'm learning to destroy the old tapes and literally reprogram myself. Now that might happen for some people where they don't have that reactive stuff, but I don't know about anybody else. I still get intrusive thoughts. It doesn't go away. It's how I'm reacting to it. Taking that extra 4 seconds. And am I fully willing to abandon my old ideas? And I'm being fearless and thorough on a daily basis. This was something I was willing to do because I understood that all my best thoughts got me to AA, that all my genius stuff never got me anywhere. I was unfulfilled. I was useless. 2 of the things that will make Dion any man. I don't know how women feel about that. But when a man feels useless in his own home, suicide's on the table. We just don't talk about it. So I'm saying it here so that other men out there know that they're not alone. Okay. Doesn't mean we follow through on it. It'll happen less. You will make progress. You will make progress on it. Okay. All right. Today I pray, help me take an inventory each day of my stock of my new healthy thoughts, throwing out the old one as I happen upon them without regret or nostalgia. So you're going to come across new things. There was somebody in our meeting last night, and they said, yeah, I'm on. I think they said they were like on the, they're in the maintenance steps. And they said, I had to go back to my 4-step because I remembered 2 people that weren't on there. Yes, you sit down and just go through it real quick. Okay, that's why I kept my 4-step. So, but yeah, you don't need to go back, and you don't need to put yourself back in that place again of regret or nostalgia. Nostalgia, it can lead to bad things. We'll put it that way. For I have outgrown those old ideas, which are scuffed and run over as an old pair of shoes. Now in the light, I can see they are filled with holes. So what's wrong with a pair of shoes that's scuffed? And see, I will pick, see how our brain picks on things. I understand the concept, but I'm going to keep that old pair of shoes. I got to be reminded of where I come from. I do. That's why I go to meetings. So I love newcomers. They remind me it does not work out there. Thank you, God, for the reminder. Now, please give me the right thoughts or actions so I can help this person for you. And then I go over and I help them. Right? Today I'll remember the program reprograms. All right, that's going to be it for this one. I got to make a couple phone calls and set up for a podcast. I'm excited I get to do a podcast today. Yay! Stuff I like doing. Right? So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Amber, it's good to see you. CJ, as always, and happy birthday again. CJ has 3 years. And Pat, it's always good to see you, man. Proud of you for plugging along, doing what you're doing. This isn't easy to do, and I have respect for anybody that stays persistent. I love you. Peace out.